Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening somewhere. Um, just another fun-filled week here. We're Congress comes back into session in the United States, and now we'll see who is supporting Mr. Biden and who's not. Uh, my experience is that they need to get. Hey, Robin, how you doing? They need to get him off the front page. That's what they need to do. So they're going to come up with something that gets him off the front page. Because right now, Mr. Trump is just marching along and going up in the polls even more, and it just gets worse and worse. So they need to resolve that situation. How it affects the markets, I'm assuming, as usual, the Fed needs to keep the markets very firm. They want people, when they open up their monthly statements, to see more money in it this month than they did last month. That seems to be the total recipe at this point, and that is that the Fed is working very hard to, make it nice. What do they call it? Free puts, that type of thing. I think that's what you call it, free puts. So that seems to be the way to look at it with the markets itself, and that is that the Fed will do anything it can do to help Mr. Biden, and the revisions of the employment number make it a little bit softer and softer, so they can lower rates. In other words, there was an article over the weekend that even doubted the idea that the inflation is what it is. They in other words, it was a studious article, and they said the inflation is much higher. And we know they've removed certain increments in the inflation numbers over the years now to make inflation look much milder than what it is. They've pulled some stuff out during the Obama years. And so it's very, very hard. In other words, inflation could be much higher than, say, 4 or 5. It could be in double digits. And that's, that's why as they call them, the vigilante bond market, or the vigilantes in the bond market, keep bond rates up in the 5s because they know that it's well beyond the 3 or the 2 that the Fed keeps on trying to tell us it's at. They were trying to tell us, it's at 2.8 and 2.9, and don't worry about it. And so that's pretty much where the markets are at this point. They have to the Fed has to keep the markets as comfortable and as positive as possible, and at the same time slow the look of the what do you call it, the inflation and the labor, the growth itself, not the inflation as much. They can't, they can only do so much with inflation, but the growth of employment. And so here they keep on losing more and more employment. It's, and the only thing popping it up is government jobs. They go, oh, well, maybe we need to lower rates. That's justifiable even with bad inflation. So they'll do anything they can. That's the end result. All right, let's take a look at the markets. You can see we have the beta up there. You can see the dollar has been moving down for the last couple of days. That's the dollar index. Just as we've been seeing pairs trades in the stock market. Not stock market, the currency market move up. It's been that reverse situation going on. And so you can see here, that pressure has been on it. What's curious is that let's go over to the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's had that same flavor going on, and now it seems to be stalling out. We're starting to lift up here, and we've been in a weekly sell, all week, and we'll be seeing when this thing starts to tick. I guess that's the 7th, so that's last week. So we're still seeing that pressure on there, and that's not abating. The pressure is on just like it is on the dollar. And then you can see over here, we get this action on the ETF of the Bitcoin. So, and then we go over to, let's take a look at the, there's right there. here is the euro dollar pairs trade right there, showing strength and lifting, and we're flirting with the week. Now we're through the weekly this week. Just missed it right there. So, and then when we go jump over to the there it is. Was that? That's the CME. Let's go look at the dollar index on this platform there. Where is it at? Right there. Huh. Interesting. They're saying that the COVID pandemic that occurred cost the American economy $18 trillion. That's a big number. All right. So you see, same thing here with the dollar index, moving down and rolling into the weekly sell right there. Over on the beta, let's go over to it again. And the beta, right there, you can see it. Now you'll be able to see it right there. There's the weekly. And it had closed last Monday in a weekly sell. And this week seems to be in the same spot in a weekly sell. And then you see right here, last week, yeah, that was last week. It still was hanging in there. The fast broke down 2 weeks ago. You see that from the zero line. There's the zero line right there. So that pressure is really, really on, and it's not really abating. It's not going away. The constant everyday look of wow. When is the I guess with the interest rates, basically that's what it comes down to. Well, and so now that's where we're at with the dollar itself. The dollar, is trying to sell down. It's overpriced. We were up around the 10, heading toward the 106 again. It's like, whoa, too high. It should be, we're looking for like 98, 99, 101 in that area. We want to see the dollar down in that range. All right. From there, we let's see, what is that? That is the dollar. So we'll just jump back over to the currency pairs, unless anybody has a question. And there it is right there. Oh, that's not the. What is that? That's the futures contract. Let's go over to the. There it is, right there. And there's euro, as we said. It's climbing up, and the weekly's climbing up, and same thing with the cable. Now the cable closed in the weekly buy last week, and it's in the daily buy. It seems to be outperforming. Looks like the Tories are gone. They like to call them conservatives. I don't see them as conservatives. I call them the Neil Kinnock or Tony Blair Tories. That's what they really are. And so we'll see what Nigel is. But Nigel won 14% of the vote. They got about 4 or 5 seats. And he got elected. So we'll see how the real conservatives start to do. Now they'll start to compete. They'll have a platform to do so. All right. From there, let's go over to the Swiss. And let's steal this cell from there and just put it there. It's been in the cell now 3 days. You can see it's been in a weekly cell for a bunch of weeks throughout this sell-off. And it's trying to turn a little bit. You can see here the fast got in there last week. and then with the buy and the weekly daily buy, and it rode up. And this daily sell is putting some pressure on it this morning. We'll see if they can bring it down into the below the 89 area. Just challenging this bottoms would be nice. Hit the 89 area, drop under a little, and you see right there. We should see by tomorrow that starting to roll over. We'll watch and see. It is a unique time in politics because the ruling party is actually being chased after by the media now. That's really odd in America to see that. Democrats have always had the media for the last 100 years, and so they don't. At least a good 75 to 100 of it has been under control of the Democrat Party. So it's very interesting to see this go on. I guess the emperor, it's like the old story about the emperor with no clothes on. So we'll wait and see what they come up with. That's what it really comes down to. We'll see what they come up with. All right, now from there, let's take a look at the yen. And there's the yen there. And I think I'll throw the Nikkei up on the other screen too at the same time. And you can see here, it's been moving down. That's a bullish thing for the Japanese. When it goes down, it gains against the dollar. When it's been going up like this, it's been losing against the dollar. They went up and made new highs. And you can see we've been in that weekly buy. And the fast has made it a sharp break today. We'll see if that has much of a do, because it's not below or anything. It's not. There's the zero line right there. Let's show you the Nikkei, how their stock market is going. You see here, it's been riding very firm and up. You see that right there? I don't know if you can or can't. How about if I do it like this? Right there. See that? See that action there? It's been riding up. It's been in daily buys. Been in a weekly buy. We're at 40. We're at all-time high area. So the stock market over there is starting to respond a little bit better, just like our stock market, all-time highs. Their Bank of Japan does the same thing as the Federal Reserve. The objective is to make the people see better, more money in their account than they had last month. That's what it really comes down to. And then we slide over to the Great Experiment. Let's take a look at the Turkish lira. We're at the top end of the range we've been watching. We're hoping that it stalls out here and moves back down to this bottoming area here. We're really, would be enormously happy to see, the Turkish lira just find a way to go sideways for a while. It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. We'll be able to tell you how it all plays out, if Congress has done anything. You'll know it on some level or another. He is the President of the United States, usually is the leader of the free world. So it will be fascinating, and I'm sure you'll hear news somewhere along the line. Not necessarily accurate news, but we'll see. All right, from there, as you see the Turkish lira doing its thing, playing with the top end of its range, we slide over to the South African rand. Right there. South African rand moving down means it's been gaining against the dollar, which normally means, let's put it up on the beta, we should be seeing gold going up in value. And it has been. There we are. That's off a little bit today. I'll show it to you on the beta. You see it's off just a little bit. But it's in an upwardly draft, just as the South African rand is in a downwardly draft. Overall, much more downwardly draft. And over here, been in an upwardly draft. That's usually the way it works. And South African rand is usually a key point. And now that they have their new government, first time since Nelson Mandela that the ANC is not the majority part. It is the majority party, but it doesn't have a mandate. It's at 39% of the parliament now is the ANC. Usually it used to be 57 or 55 or 60 or something like that. And so Nelson Mandela, changed that. That was the illegal immigrant party and the Communist Party, and that's what they are. And now I guess they have to dial it down a little bit. They have two parties that are almost equal with them now, and that is the Zulu Nation and the old South African party that ruled before that. It's a conservative party now, much more conservative, and they're anti-immigration. Now, Zulus have always been an anti-immigration party. They had a full vote because of it, and because they were indigenous, they're not illegal aliens. And most people have no idea what I'm saying. When I say that, it's like, what? What's he talking about? Immigration? They're racist pigs. That's what it is. They were racist pigs. No, they weren't. South African blacks had a full vote when you were a legal citizen. But when you were an illegal citizen, they gave you a half a vote. So that's what slowly pushed them out of power, is giving illegal aliens half a vote. Yeah, I know. Crazy, huh? Where was the media to tell you that? Where was the media to tell you that ANC is a supporter of illegal immigration and communism? Big question mark there, eh? And that's where the split has come with the ANC and Zuma's party. He collected up all the communists and the anti South African people, the legal immigrant, the legal people, and that's why Zuma has 14% of the parliament, I believe it is. And so that made it so that the ANC lost, about 15% of the vote. And then. So that's where we are with South Africa, but at least now it looks like it's starting to calm down, and they're going to start more about, free markets, free people, free economy, and not all this killing in the streets. That's why former President Zuma, part of the ANC, is living in exile and has a political party in South Africa, but he can't live there because he's wanted for murder. I know, it's the weirdest thing. And we try to use the South African rand because it used to be a really good tool for understanding the metals market. So we're really trapped all the time. We have to pay attention to this politics stuff because, we won't be able to understand the tells or the pre-moves. By that influences the metals market. And that's why I'm here. Is when I say that stuff in the United States, they call it hate. It's hate I have and racism. So, I don't know. What can you do? All right. So from the South African rand, we'll jump over to gold. Let's take a look at the gold. And as we did on the beta. You can see it. You can see here it's breaking down a little bit more, but it's still in the buy, doing the exact opposite of the South African rand. In other words, it's rising as the South African rand is dropping and gaining against the dollar. You see we're going into a second week in a weekly buy, holding up pretty firm there. And then we drift over to the silver market. See how the silver market's doing. It's a little bit firmer, but compared to, or let's put it this way, it's not losing as much as the gold is. You see gold is silver here is moving up, was threatening the 32 area from the 29 area. And we also closed last week in a weekly buy in that at the same time. So it kind of gives you that It's nice to see combination. To see the South African rand gaining against the dollar, having less of its political problems, and at the same time, you can see the metals complex making its move. Janos, howdy, howdy, howdy. SPY, NVDA, AMD, and Amazon. Let's check out your list. Let's see, are on my list, but I don't know why. You don't know why? I saw somebody yesterday. It was very funny. Or was it way early this morning? Oh, I know it. It was the Barron's Weekly. It was Barron's in the Barron's newspaper, the weekend newspaper. And they had one guy who jumped on there and said, the stock market is really closed, and the only thing that's open is 7 stocks. They're carrying the whole stock market. And, you just mentioned... What did you just mention? You mentioned 2 out of the 4 that are carrying the stock market. NVDA and Amazon. And then you have, what he was saying is the significant 7. That's what he was saying is the significant 7 are, really the stock market, and the rest of the market is just kind of bumbling around doing almost nothing. Did not write stuff down or Friday when working late. Okay, let's take a look at it. Well, that's good. Let me go hunt down that. Let's put that up. There we go. Yeah, like Microsoft, the Magnificent 7 basically has been carrying the markets. There's AMD. Let's get that. And there's NVDA too. There's NVDA. Still in that weekly buy. It battled its way from falling into the sell. Remember, it was started the week off in the minus area. You see here in a daily buy, pretty much, let's see, since here, I guess it is. There was a green dot here that kept it in the buy last time. I'm not sure where it disappeared to. Same thing here. But either way, it's in a buy from this move right there, and still in a weekly buy. From the... what would that be? The 90 some odd dollar area? $92 area, $93 area. Let's say call it the $93 area. And it's climbed as high as $140. So it was a pretty good move. You can see it's been holding in, when it gets into a daily buy, normally it's pretty firm. The sell there, then it jumped back into a buy, and this one kind of was really sloppy. It got it back up where it was in the buy. We had 2 green dots there about a week ago. But I guess when they split the stock, it changed some things. You can see here, it's back into the buy again, and it's climbing again. So it's taking care of it there. So there's NVDA. Here's your AMD right there. AMD, same situation, went into the buy right there after some real choppy action. Especially with the sell, and then it closed in the weekly buy last week. Remove that right there. So this has been AMD's been very interesting. Very solid stock. Came down. Let's see, it's coming down from its all-time highs, I guess, of $200 and some odd right there. Went into that sell there. Took a while to get into the weekly sell. Went into the fast sell right in here off of that plateau, and then that joined in with the slow at the same time, and it drove down from the 180-ish area down to the 140-ish area. All right, now from there, let's see, what's that last one? Last one is Amazon, is it? Yeah, it's Amazon. Oh, let's do this too. Let's try, while we're waiting for Amazon, let's show you. Let's see. Hit OK. Let's see. Let's go like this. Open that up there. And this will show you the Amazon. There's Tesla. Tesla's been rocking and rolling. It's been in the buy since back here. The daily buy since right here. Let's just put those lines in. Well, I don't really need to. You know what I can do is I just go like this. Let's just take a look at Amazon. There's Amazon, and I'll show you the Tesla on another chart system where I actually put things in. So there it is there. Amazon went into the buy in this area. Where's my marker? I guess let's just get rid of that. So it went into the buy here. And it's been lifting. Flirting with it a little bit this morning. You got a red and a green. It's been in the weekly buy. Same thing. Same situation for... This is going on a fourth week? Yeah, fourth week. And the fast got in there literally back in here. That was interesting. Let's take a look at... There's the Tesla right there. You can see in a buy from there. It's part of that Magnificent 7 and a weekly buy from back in here. And then let's get SPY up there for you. There's SPY. This is the S&P 500. See, it's still very firm. It's a fourth day in a buy. And at the same time, it's been in a weekly buy since over here, since the 530 area. And now we're in the 560 area, or 5,056 area. And then we go like this. Let's show you the intraday of it in the futures contract. There it is right there. Trading at all-time highs. Last week on Friday, it ran up to there, made the all-time high, sold it down, and now it's right back up there again. Can you say Federal Reserve? Can you say keep Mr. Biden in office? Something of that nature. All right, let's have a glass of water. And that should satisfy your Magnificent 7 type stuff. And go like that. Very, very firm. All right. From there, I guess we go back over to the metals complex. Let's take a look at copper, how it's moving up, just the same way the South African Rand has been. It's in a daily buy from here. And it's trying to climb into the weekly buy right there. Same thing with the other professional metal, platinum. There's the October contract. It's trying to close in a weekly buy. It started the week off jumping up there right now. And at the same time, it closed on Friday in the buy. It's not doing too good a job here. And why? Because we're in a weekly sell. And it's now trying to climb into the weekly buy. So obviously, as long as it stays in the buy here, you know, it looks like we're going to start seeing some strength into the platinum area, which means we'll see strength in the silver and the gold area and the copper. Don't wait. What? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Platinum and copper. Right there. we can go back and look at those stocks of the ones you were just asking about, and just double check it for you. Let's see. So again, NVDA still in the weekly buy, no problems. The fast is actually trying to jump up a little bit. It's kind of cute. Look at the slow. It's curving the opposite direction, but they're still in the buy area. And we're in a daily buy in that. Let's go back to AMD just to make sure you see all the results. AMD closed in a weekly buy last week, and it's been in a daily buy for 6 days now. So AMD just closed in the weekly buy. Then Amazon, right there, we're looking at a 4th week in a weekly buy, and just flirting at the moment. It's pre-market, so don't take it too serious. They're just flirting with a daily sell. I mean, this is all-time highs too, I believe, in the Amazon. And we talked about the idea that a lot of people believe Amazon's going to be the next $3 trillion company. And when they get those ideas in their heads, especially the money managers, when they get that in their heads, they start committing capital. And when they commit capital, things go up in value. All right. We got about a week to go to know who Mr. Trump's vice president candidate is going to be. All right. That's exactly what it comes down to. How's that, Giannis? Was that good? This way you got it all written down. You're all solid. You got a call again. All right. It was AMD. AMD closed in a buy on Friday, a weekly buy. I'll show it to you again. There it is. It's been in a daily buy since here and battling its way up. And the fast jumped into the weekly buy last week there. So that's the one that's kind of relatively new. And I believe what is all-time highs? 200 and something? Yeah, so all-time high is 220 basically, or 220 something. So, it's got $46 or, let's see, 26, 46, maybe $47 potential on the upside. It's something like that, I would say. Stocks are up. Let's show you where stocks are right now. We did show you the SPY. SPY is still in a buy. Let's go back to that again. There it is. There we go. They are. We have Congress going into session today. They've been on vacation, so this should be fun. See who tries to disrupt Mr. Biden's adventure. He's like Pee Wee Herman, Gets on his bike. The whole bit. All right, that's the SPY. Yep, stocks are up. They're firm. Not exploding. The Fed will perk the market up every time it backs off. They're gonna find ways to drive it back up. They can't afford. They've got enough bad news. They don't need any. They can control the markets more because they have the control of the Federal Reserve. So that's all they talk about on the national media. That's all they talk about now. Biden and him stepping down. I don't think he's gonna. I really don't. I really don't think he's going to. But anyhow, there it is. You got all five of the. You got your, your stocks. If you have a question on any particular one, give it a yell, and we'll keep on marching back over to the other commodities. Alrighty. There it is right there. This is oil. It felt the pressure on Friday. It's feeling it today. See, the weekly is trying to roll over. Right there. And at the same time on the other platform, doing that same thing. Rolling over. Now on the beta platform, you see it dropped underneath there on, what is that? That's on Friday. And pushed in, so it's in the sell on Friday there. It's trying to lift up a little bit today. It's got a green dot and trying to perk its head up. But it's still below the close of Friday. It's going to be fascinating. When oil goes down, Mr. Biden is taking from the strategic reserve. He's removed almost half of the strategic reserve. They had like 320 or 30 million barrels, and he has sold something like 150 million barrels of oil to the companies instead of drilling for it. He keeps on selling the strategic reserve. All right, now let's go take a look at heating oil. This is the oil we use for trucks and planes and for heating houses. They use the same fuel for all three. You see that went into a sell on Friday. So they're feeling a little pressure there. Then let's take a look at, oh, we can't see that. Right there. Just as the stock market, the crude market is bouncing around. Oh, wait a minute. Right there. Okay. See, we had a green dot, so it stopped it from going into a sell. But it's there now, that's for sure. Now, we go over to natural gas, and there's natural gas. It's trying to make a bounce up today, which is interesting. It's been gliding down. I don't know if it's following the politics or what. I heard a strange story this morning. They're saying that Mr. Biden is so out of it, in the sense that he's not paying attention as the president and letting his staff do all the work. When he signed an executive order stopping the use of natural gas to be shipped outside the country to Europe, he thought he was signing something else. That's what they said. Because he seems not to understand that he's stopped the natural gas market. So we're in the weekly sell right there, and it's trying to make a cute little bounce right there. And then we shoot back over to the beta and take a look at the same thing. There we are. So you see there, natural gas, and on the beta, it's lifting up also, but nowhere near as tenacious. And the daily, well, we can't see what it's doing today because it's just showing last night's stuff. You can see here the weekly is still in a sell, 3 out of the last 4 weeks, whereas on the other platform it's 4 out of the last 4 weeks. Stocks are up, yes. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 106. The S&P 500 is about 7, and the Nasdaq, or the Tech 100, is up 17. Here, let's just show you. I wanted to show you Brent. We'll go to Brent after that, but you can see here they're doing a little selling at the moment on the very short term intraday. You can see it's very firm on the other two and the biggest. Let's go back to the beta and show you Brent. You can see right there, it's in a sell. Wow. They're saying electric vehicles are being pushed out the door for almost nothing. In other words, trucks are being sold for $10,000. They want to get rid of these vehicles. Supposedly 50% of the population who owns electric vehicles wants to sell them. They don't like them. Interesting. All right, so there we are with the Brent. See that pressure just like on the West Texas Intermediate. Interesting. One of Obama's campaign managers saying that Mr. Biden will lose in a landslide. Wow. Things are really changing here. The emperor has no clothes. We've been telling you that since the day he ended up in an office. But to watch the national media actually say it for the first time, it's very weird. I guess they're tired of losing money. Because they're not making money on their news agencies, that's for sure. All right. From there, where are we going from there, traders? Anybody see anything they want to look at? If not, we'll jump over to some of the world indices and see what's going on there. Let me just give you a quick view of the S&P 500 trading live. Right there. Still playing around in all-time highs. Looking very firm. All right, let's see what the Kospi did in South Korea. Right there. Kind of holding on firm, it's in the daily buy, flirting around with the not there, right there. Weekly buy for 4 weeks. Going on a 5th week. And then, where do we go from here? Let's go to, someone mentioned, I heard somebody today, they were talking about Taiwan. The governor of Texas is in Taiwan, and they've opened up they only have 2 business offices for the state of Texas. One in Mexico, and now one in Taiwan. And he was saying that the Chinese can't do much against Taiwan, so they're going after the Philippines. You can see right there, Philippines have been bouncing up. Maybe they're realizing they can't do anything against the Philippines either. Now let's go take a look at Taiwan, right there. I mean, it keeps on playing at all-time highs. Very strong. Lots of buys on the daily. And you can see here, it's been, 3 months in a weekly buy at the same time. And then from there, we slide over to... where do we slide over to? We slide over to... We saw the Philippines. Oh, we go take a look at China. There's China, Illinois, or China, as my dad would call it. And it's at Shanghai's banging out like 9-month lows or something like that. You see the pressure on it there. And, 3 days, 4 days now on a sell, I guess. Well, it actually says today's the 8th, though. So it's trying to tell us that it's in a sell. The weekly's in a sell for almost 11 weeks now or something like that. And then from there, we go over to Hong Kong. So we'll take a look at the Hang Seng, get a flavor of that. You can see the same things going on over there. Now they've just taken out the lows of the last 3 months, and you can see it's the weekly is been in a weekly sell now for 2, 4, 6, 7 weeks. So there's pressure. Unfortunately, Hong Kong is now benefiting from China's policies, and so what it's doing, what they benefit from, is losing money. From there, let's see, we go to the Singapore Straits Times, the STI. Where are you? Right there. A little pressure on it the last 2 days, as you can see right there. Closed in a sell on, I would say that is last night. And you can see here, it's been in a weekly buy now for 2 weeks. And you can see that move that it had from it. We'll see if this is just a simple correction, like, a couple days, and then boom, they're right back up again. Then, let's see where are we at now. Let's go take a look at Australia. A couple days in a buy, bouncing back into the sell on the weekly. Let's take a look at the Nifty 50. That's the more interesting one. 3 months in a buy at all-time highs. So India's indice is doing much better. And then we go to Saudi Arabia. There it is right there. There is the Saudi Arabian energy company. Good way of watching things in countries, their energy stocks. See, it's been firming up. Aramco, but it's been 12 weeks in a sell ever since they floated another $100 billion worth of stock. They put the pressure on it. Seems like the bottom is in the 27, 28 area. And then from there, we jump over to, I guess the most active stock market over in that area is really the Israeli stock market. Let's see if I can get that on here. Because I really would like to have a couple of indices to follow over in that region. Let's see, where's it at? There we go. Let's see what that does. There it is right there. The NASDAQ Israeli Index Market. Okay, cool. Let's just take a look at it over a 6-month period. NASDAQ Israeli Index Market. Sounds like a good thing. Let's put that up there. Doesn't really... What is 6 months? What's curious is they're not giving us much of an update. What other indexes could they have? I remember there was an index they had. Let's see if we can find that. Let's try that again. Stock index. Let's see if that does it. That's odd. Pricing Culture Cool Cats Floor Index? The hell is that? How about the Tel Aviv? I think it's a Tel Aviv index, right? Let's see if we can find that. That's the Tel Aviv Exchange has a stock index. I guess it's not politically correct anymore to look at it, I guess? I don't know. There it is. TA. That's what we want to look at. Whoa. Let's put that in. Pricing, hormones. That's the weirdest thing. They don't want to show us the index. They must be with Hamas, I guess. I don't know. That's the only thing I can figure. I don't know why they wouldn't show us the exchange's index. There's right there. Tel Aviv 125 index. There it is right there. They're showing it to us. It's trading at $1,992. Up $31 for the day. So why, that's the Wall Street Journal. So why doesn't Yahoo Finance show us the Tel Aviv 125 index? That's 2 months ago. Let's see if that does it. There's another one. All right, let's try that one. That looks... Now that's down... like that. Well, is that today? That looks like today, so we can actually look at that. Let's do that. Finally, we got something there. Boy, they made that hard, didn't they? Let's see. Let's go like, what are we doing here? I have to do it over here, I guess. All right, well, what we're going to do is we'll have that in for tomorrow. Let's go back over to, where were we at? Right here. Let's take a look at the stocks and Europe, and then we'll cut out. There's the stocks, and it's going up, showing firmness. It's in a weekly sell, though. Then let's take a look at the DAX. Where's the DAX at? DAX is in here somewhere. There's the FTSE. Let's take a look at the FTSE. FTSE looks like it's firming up too. And let's see what the CAC 40 is doing in Paris. It looks firm. And it's not in a weekly buy, but it's daily buys. And then there's the DAX right there. It's also very firm. Still in a weekly sell, but it's trying to get into the weekly buy. All right, traders, we're done. We will catch you all tomorrow. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I don't understand it. Why they're fighting about showing that. But we'll put that up on the screen for tomorrow. This way we can have the Saudi Arabian oil company And we have that so that when we go across the planet, going from the Nifty 50 in India, we go other products. I look to see if they do. I would think that as time goes on, Dubai they have a stock exchange there. You would think that there's got to be a Dubai stock index that covers, like the region. Dubai is an international city. So you would think there'd be like Israeli stocks, there'd be Saudi Arabian stocks, Pakistani stocks. There's got to be some, it's got to be something like that going on. If they're not, they should wake up and do it. Benefit from being a major city. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc from North America, catching you tomorrow. Same time, same channel. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later, Scalpy traders. Later, later.